Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Twister, and today I'm back with another Black Ops 3 video. And in this one I'm going to be sharing with you some awesome tips for using the bumper jumper button layout in Black Ops 3 so you guys can become better players. So before I actually start in this video, I just want to quickly apologise for not uploading the past few days. I've been really busy, and yesterday I actually got the chance to go down to London to visit the YouTube space along with Activision, so that was really cool. There is more on my Twitter. If you do want to check that out, I'll link my Twitter in the description. But yeah, as for this video, I'm going to show you guys some tips for using the bumper jumper button layout, which is, it's such an awesome button layout for actually becoming a better player, and I think it's one of the easiest things you can do to just kind of improve your performance in the game. And essentially what it does, it switches around your buttons for jump and throwing your tactical grenade. So I'm on PS4, so I'll just be mentioning the PS4 buttons just because that's what I know best. And just as standard on PS4, it's usually X to jump and L1 to throw tactical grenades such as stuns and concussion grenades. But actually switching it round, it becomes L1 to jump and then X to throw tacticals. And you might be thinking, that's a really weird change. How is that going to benefit you? Now, essentially what it does is it means that you will always keep your right thumb on the right stick so you can always aim. You don't have to take your right thumb off the stick to move it to the X button to jump. It just means that you can always press jump with L1 and always have your right thumb on the stick to aim. And obviously that's one of the biggest things you can see right here in the gameplay. Just being able to do a quick jump just like that, and at the same time still be able to adjust my aim to an enemy target that's right in front of you. It becomes a big part of Black Ops 3 because it just allows you to get the most out of the movement system. So in this video I'll be showing you guys, some tips to actually get used to the button layout itself and then make the most of it, so you guys can obviously make the most out of the new movement system and become better players and stuff like that. So hopefully you guys will enjoy this video. So the first tip that I can give you guys is free running. Go into the free run game modes and just practice it. This is just designed to get you used to actually pressing the L1 or the LB on Xbox to jump, just to get it in your head that that's what you need to do, because from time to time you'll just find yourself pressing X or A or whatever it might be to jump when it's actually just going to throw you a stun because it's been swapped around. So just actually going into the free mode, doing some of the basic stuff like jumping and wall running and climbing, it just applies your new jump button to all the different kind of movements that you've got in Black Ops 3. So it might just be simple to think that, alright, my button layout switched, I just need to remember to press L1 to jump, but when you're actually in a game, you just forget that. So actually trying to imprint the fact that, you're pressing L1 to jump now in the game, I think it's just really easy to do that in free running. And while you're doing that, you can actually practice, and you'll probably be able to get some new high scores. I definitely beat my time using this bumper jumper layout, and I just think it is really effective at increasing your mobility and just actually your movement around the game, because you can always move with the right stick and jump at the same time. So I just think it's way more effective, and just getting used to actually doing that in Black Ops 3, definitely go try that out in free running. It's probably the best way just to transition yourself in towards actually using the bumper jumper button layout in the game. So that's my number one tip, is just try out the free running. The next one is actually just playing against some bots. So open up a custom games, go into a small map. I've chose hunted, and pick 18 of the easiest difficulty bots. And the kind of point behind this exercise is now to actually get used to shooting whilst jumping using the L1 and the left trigger to actually aim down sight. So it can be kind of awkward actually having your index finger on L1 to be able to jump, and then your middle finger on the trigger to actually aim down sight. So when you're playing against bots, what I'd recommend is try and get used to aiming down sight first with the left trigger using your middle finger, and then once you've locked onto a target, start jumping with L1 and then try and maintain your aim on that target. And that should just help you guys get used to the idea of jumping, aiming, shooting all at the same time just against bots. So that's the second tip. Now the third tip is use a laser sight. What you actually want to do now is go into a game, any game mode of your choice. I'm playing Ground War and I'm using the Weevil, and you can see I'm going to town on these enemies with the laser sight. So you start to realize that the laser sight is actually a really powerful attachment, especially when you're using the bumper jumper, the L1 to jump, because it just means that you can track your targets easily just by hip firing. There's no aiming down sight, or you don't have to aim down sight. Just the point of this is to get used to tracking targets whilst you're moving and whilst they're moving, while you're in midair. And it's just a really effective way to get used to jumping and shooting enemies in an actual proper game. So I'm using the Weevil now. I've got extended mags in this, and I've got laser sights. So that's 70 bullets that I can just use to spray down enemies. And it's such a good effect just to dodge and evade enemies in midair while you're still easily able to shoot them, because obviously the laser sight, it'll increase your hip fire accuracy, so you can get loads of shots on the enemies easily. So that's my third tip, and that's basically it. You know, after a couple hours using these tips, free running, playing against bots, and then using the laser sight, you should be all good to go. And I'm actually going to let you into a secret now. You can see by the gameplay, using bumper jumper with the haymaker shotgun is actually a really fun way to play the game. You'll see me going to town, like that kill right there, just juking out that enemy was absolutely crazy. How effective it is just absolutely insane. You might be thinking it's hard to get used to at first, and you might even be wondering to yourself, you know, if you just play on a standard button layout, you might be thinking, is it actually worth it? Is it actually going to make that much of a difference? Surely just switching up one button to jump isn't going to make that much of a difference. And when you actually do try it, when you actually get used to it, you just start to think, why has Call of Duty not had this feature since, you know, since it started, since, you know, the first ever Call of Duty games? It is that big of a change. I really do think you guys will benefit with this. So just one thing to note is, obviously switching L1 and X, it does mean that anything previously that used L1 in its button functionality would have been changed. So the main thing to know is that throwing stuns and concussions, you will have to use X. And also, if you want to use your special ability, instead of pressing L1 and R1, it's going to be R1 and X. So you'll have to get used to that, as well as actually being able to jump and aim and move and shoot, all that kind of stuff with the bumper jumper button layout. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys have found this really useful, and that you're actually going to start using this in game, because I think you guys will benefit crazily from this. It's really good. You'll be able to see from the gameplay right now that I'm tearing down enemies with this button layout. The actual movement system, being able to evade enemies with the jump and dodge, and also get your shots on them whilst they're going to find it a lot harder to hit you, is so important. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. If you did and you found it useful and you really found this helpful, make sure you do leave a like rating, subscribe to the channel if you are new and you want to keep up to date with more Black Ops 3 videos, where I'll be hopefully sharing even more tips such as this with you guys. Make sure you do subscribe, and with all that said, I'll hopefully see you all in my next video. See you later, guys.